One of the topics in my new book, Diamond in the Rough, is effective empathy. Combining a fast feedback loop with a fast action loop. Of course, one of the first things you have to install is that feedback loop. And I'm a big believer of making sure that as many employees as possible have contact with the end customer so that they hear the oohs and the ahs directly from the end customer. Now, I recently heard a fantastic story about this. It was by the Belgium AG insurance company. Typically, insurance companies are far away from their customer. Very often there's an intermediary even in between, and the communication is often limited. So they wanted to overcome that. They wanted to create more empathy in their teams, in their organization. So what they've done is they called it the Sound of C project, the Sound of the Customer project. So they invited 200 of their employees that usually are not in touch with the end customer. They invited them to call to customers. So they organized this whole day called Sound of C. And with 200 people, they reached hundreds and hundreds of customers. And they had a call with them, not to sell them something, but just to listen and to ask the question, look, we're from AG Insurance. What do you think about our processes? What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? Typically market research questions, right? But they didn't outsource it to a marketing research company. They asked their own employees to do that so that they don't just get a market research report that they can read, but that they hear and feel the oohs and the ahs directly. And after the call, they could send a postcard to those customers, and it was like an organic postcard, and if you put it in the ground, you get some really beautiful flowers. So you have for the customer, you have the fact of the phone call, and then you have a little present, personally signed by those employees from AG Insurance. It's a fantastic day. You learn a lot. The employees who participated in the program were super excited about it. They learned so much. The way that they start to think about their products and services changed overnight. The customers really enjoyed it. And they made this a success because it was a good preparation. You cannot just ask 200 people to start calling clients. So they trained their team a little bit to start doing that. And the first few calls are a little bit uneasy sometimes. But after a while, you start to see, hey, those customers really appreciate it. They like to talk. Sometimes it were conversations of more than 10 minutes. So it really, really worked for them. And the end result is 200 of their employees hear the oohs and the ahs directly from the customer, which changes the customer experience and the customer culture internally. So the moment that you have a system like this and you do that a couple of times a year, you can really create a complete different culture. As many people as possible in direct contact with customers. It changes a whole lot.